Hey, did you miss my listing presentation yesterday? It's okay. Don't worry about it. I actually got it right here for you. But first, I gotta do this like cool little intro. Check it out. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Daniel Umstead. I am a realtor, as well as a motivational speaker, credit repair specialist, as well as resume writer, host of the RNG radio show, and so much more. But I want you to be able to look for me throughout the city of Philadelphia, including at danielumstead.com. But most places that you find me at is starting right here. Yep, and definitely here. Yes, even here. Yep, even here. Yes, even here. Yes, and definitely here. It's listing time. Yes. So this video that I wanted to create for new realtors, experienced realtors who need to get back out in the field ASAP because the market is hot. So all respect and due, giving honor to God first and foremost. Secondly, the person I was actually inspired by doing this video was Mr. Mike Sherrard, who I'm connected with on LinkedIn. In addition, Mr. Chasten J. Miles. They were pretty much talking as far as, can a part-time realtor be successful, which I got from Mr. Mike Sherrard, which was like, yes, based upon your listing appointments, And then Mr. Chasten J. Miles actually had a video. He has actually multiple videos about it in regards to doing live video, or that he did a live video presentation, listing presentation. So I pulled some tips and tricks actually from both of them and wanted to give to you. So if you're paying attention, this is pretty much just strictly for realtors only. So if you're not a realtor, get off. No, I'm kidding. No, everybody can benefit this, especially if you are a seller. Or even a buyer who's looking to sell an additional property. Definitely this information is for you. So let's start out with the basics. A listing presentation. What is the listing presentation? Listing presentation is where the seller is like, you know what, I'm ready to sell a house and I need a realtor. So that's when every single realtor is raising their hands and saying, pick me, please pick me. Come on, please pick me. And once they are picked, then they are meeting face to face with that seller, and then they're going into a listing presentation. So how long should a listing presentation last? Well, think about it like this. Everybody's familiar with the job interview and how long a job interview should last. So with the job interview, typically independent upon the industry, I think my quickest one was way back when I was working at AMC Theaters, and I just walked in and they told me, hey, everything looks great. Can you start Friday? I'm like, sure, great. So a listing presentation shouldn't go that fast because then there's some suspect information in regards to it. But on average, you're looking at about 45 minutes to an hour. And the reason why I say that is because you're planning on building a relationship with this individual. So you don't want to be coming in and it's like just an immediate, yes, I want to work with you, or immediate, no, I don't want to work with you, when you guys haven't even gone over everything. So one key tip I wouldn't recommend, though, is doing your listing presentation during your lunch hour. If you're a part-time realtor, that's fine. Now, if you got some flexibility with your job where your boss is like, hey, listen, feel free to take your time needed on your lunch. You can just make up the time later. Or if you're just that good of a job where it's like, hey, if you do go to an hour and a half, but you're still getting your work done, then hey, A-okay. But I wouldn't recommend doing it if your boss, or employer, I should say, is very strict with your time, where it's like, hey, if you clocked out at 12:01 p.m., I expect you back here by 1:01 p.m. if you're doing a 60-minute lunch, or 12:31 p.m. if you're doing a 30-minute lunch. So make sure that's clear on that end, because what you don't want to do is have a bad listing presentation and then all of a sudden you get fired because you didn't come back to work on time. So you're here at the listed presentation, at the suitable time. So start with a compliment, talk about how great the house looks. Compliment them on, thank you for choosing me. You need to get something that's going to break that ice, that's going to move forward with the conversation. Because let's say you're showing up for a day, you want to be like, hey, what's going on? How you doing? Yeah, I know. It's real. Yeah, you looking at the number one realtor right here. I know. Let's get this over with. No, you want to start off with something light, something fun, something friendly, okay? But nothing too cheesy or corny anywhere. But like, I just flew into this listing appointment and boy, are my arms tired. Nothing like that. So be fun with it. Now, when you're starting a listing presentation after your icebreaker, you should be asking them, hey, did you get a chance to look over a pre-listing packet that I sent over to you? Now, I know what you're thinking. Dan, I don't have the pre-listing packet. I don't even know what you're talking about in regards to a pre-listing packet. Well, what is that? So first and foremost, Google, if you haven't known already, or YouTube, if you haven't known already, definitely goes over templates. And it's just simple, pre-listing packet template. Just Google that and you'll find it. But I want to go over key things that should be included. In addition, should be reviewed during your presentation as well. So your bio, as far as who you are, how you can be contacted, what made you want to get into real estate. In addition, in your bio, you should be talking about what you have done in real estate. If you're brand new, you're brand new. Hey, I'm one of the brand new agents with Super Realty Group. Drop that line. I just want to pretty much be able to present to you how I could be the best realtor for your needs, blah, blah, blah. Now, if you're stuck on the bio, again, Google, what should my pre-listing packet bio look like? Testimonials from your clients. Let's say you are brand new and you don't have any testimonials. Okay, that's fine. Does your brokerage have some testimonials? Because if you're tied to, let's say, back in 96, 93, Chicago Bulls, you might be Steve Kerr where you're coming in. It's like, well, I'm working with some champions here. It's like, oh, okay, great. That's awesome. Awesome. So you want to be able to put that in there. And that goes along with information about your brokerage. Where are they located at? Who is the head broker? So on and so forth. A complete marketing plan. That should be discussing as far as what you're planning to do, along with your affiliations and distribution channels. And let them know. Let them know where they can find you at. Let them know where you're planning on distribute their house at, if you're on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, give them all that information and give them examples as well. Another drop, cross-country mortgage. When I met with Bill and Riley, they had told me, hey, listen, if you get a listing, be sure to send it over to us. So that way, when it comes time for you to put it out there, we're already going to have the digital ad available and ready for you. And it just goes through the process. So make sure you have that information ready. Market statistics, and it should be something recent with market statistics. Don't think that it's like, oh, well, I just pulled something from last week. Find something today, Don't pull up something from 2019 saying that, oh, yeah, the market was looking pretty fair back around in June 2019. So I feel in the Northeast area for you will pretty much be the same way. And it's like, it's 2021 now, September 2021 to be specific. So make sure those are available and ready. A list of questions every seller should ask their realtor. Hey, listen, I'm giving you the answers to the test, or questions to the test, I should say, because you want to make sure, hey, listen, if you don't, for me, because I don't want you to give realtors a bad name. I at least want you to make sure you're asking the right questions when you're going through it. Introduction to any additional services as far as who your contacts are. If they're looking to do a home inspection, Ava Westfield with I forgot her name. I forgot the company name. I'm sorry, Ava, but look for Ava. She does home inspections. She's got a lot of great connections. But transaction management, title, escrow, whomever that you're in connection with, you should have their contact information listed in your pre-listing packet as well. A filled out listing agreement. Now, don't be all crazy and putting down the price and your signature and today's date as far as signing it. You just want to give them a layout as far as what that listing agreement should be looking like. And then homework for the sellers. The first homework should be the consumer notice disclosure. If you haven't done it over the phone verbally, or if you didn't send it already with the pre-listing packet, make sure that is in front of their face so they know their rights and responsibilities for you as their realtor, in addition to their rights and responsibilities as the seller and or buyer when it comes to it. Property disclosure forms, that's let them know, hey, listen, I need to know about this property that I'm selling. Don't tell me that you forgot about the roof leak after I'm seeing dripping coming down from the ceiling. So make sure that's in there. Anything else that can differentiate you and help the seller get ready to market their property? Yes, you need to be detailed as far as what you can offer compared to anybody else. You need to separate yourself. You need to let them know that you have the RNG radio show. You need to let them know that you're looking to go to law school. You need to let them know that you're a resume writer. You need to let them know that you're a credit repair specialist. You need to let them know that you give motivation tips throughout your RNG radio show. You need to let them know da-da-da-da-da. So just some drop bombs there for you. But be specific in regards to how you're differentiating yourself compared to other realtors. And it's not so much knocking other realtors, just let them know, hey, you've got me, this is what I'm about, this is what I'm looking to do. And if anything, to simplify your why, because you should have had a why before you started real estate. And all the brokerages that I've been with have always said, in regards to asking, well, what's your why? Why did you want to become a realtor? So that should be automatically in there when you are talking. And customize the packet for each seller that you're meeting with. Don't think of it as like, oh, dear John, here's the same information. Because every zip code is going to be different, every market's going to be different, and every situation is going to be different. That is one thing I love about real estate. I can't go by yesterday's numbers for today. I can't say, oh yeah, the house that sold last week for $400,000. I'm pretty sure you could do the same thing if you're looking to sell it for $400,000. When all of a sudden maybe there was a bad storm that hit that area that brought the rates down. Maybe there was too many people looking to sell. On Welsh Road, I'll be specific, on my way to get my son sometimes, I'm seeing left and right, for sale, for sale, for sale, for sale. So, hey, you might not be in a position where you're able to sell if you're in that area, if you got a bunch of for sale listings. So you might need to talk about as far as, all right, what's actually going to work for you. Now, commission, that definitely is going to come up because they're looking at us like, I'm trying to sell a $200,000 home and your commission is 4%, 5%, 6%, or even 8%. Shouldn't be 8%, but if you are, knock yourself out. But if my home is trying to get sold and your commission is like extremely high, first of all, talk to your broker. Talk to your broker and say, hey, I have this listing appointment, or talk to somebody within your brokerage asking them like, hey, I've got this listing appointment. I want to make sure for this client, for this area, what's the lowest I can go and what's the highest I can go. If they say, hey, no, we're set at 5.75%, 5.75% commission rate, then that's what it is. If they say, oh, well, that home right there for $900,000, listen, Dan, you could go as low as 4% if you want to, or you could go as high as 6%, whatever's going to work for you. But you should be having that conversation before going out to your listing appointment, and give them, base facts. Also pull, hey, what happens if they do decide to go with another brokerage? Be sure to come up with those rebuttals that say, oh, the reason why I'm planning on going with this brokerage, or you should be coming with this brokerage or coming with me, is because I'm offering this interest rate and you're going to get this, this, and this involved with it. I don't know what your brokerage has to offer. I don't know what you have to offer. So these are things that you should be writing down to benefit yourself. So when you go in and say, the reason why my commission is this percent is because I'm offering this, this, and this. Now, if you personally want to know what Super Realty Groups is, you got to hit me up, 267-702-3756. And the other thing, too, is, all right, so how fast are they looking to sell? Again, these should have been initial conversations, but if you're nervous, this is your first time, or it's been a while since your last listing appointment, this question should be asked. Hey, how fast are you looking to sell? What is their need for them, the reason to sell? Somebody could be going through a divorce. Somebody could be getting married. Somebody may need to be moving because they are planning on staying closer with family, or they just honestly need to get out of the current state or the current neighborhood that they're in. So you need to be asking them, what is the reason for them looking to sell? And that way you can gauge, how much of an immediate need that it is. So, and if they come back to you and say, oh, I need to help sell this house fast, then hey, break down as far as how you're going to sell that house fast. If it's something long-term, where they're like, I just want to see what the market's looking like. I'm really not trying to sell anything right now. I just want to see where I should be looking at it in case I decide to sell. Now, I just gave you the prior example where last week's numbers are not today's numbers. No, I'm not trying to quote Fat Joe here, but last week's numbers are not today's price. Okay? That's just flat out. But show them a CMA. Don't think it's a lost conversation like, what? It's September. You're not looking to sell until March? Well, this was a waste. No, show them a CMA. A CMA is a comparative market analysis. Let them know, hey, here are the nearby homes that match your 3-bedroom, 2-bath that sold for X amount of price. Would you still be interested in looking to sell and waiting 6 months, or are you looking for something now? Get them to change their mind by showing them what's in front of them. And that moves on to the 3 categories of homes that you should be talking with the clients about. And that is sold, active, and expired. Sold, those are the golden ones. You know, the golden geese. That's the one that's laying the golden eggs, that's bringing everybody happiness and joy, because the client's home is getting sold. You're getting your check. The broker is getting the check. And on top of that, a brand new buyer is coming in that loves the house. So be sure when you're looking or letting them know, sold is where we're trying to get to. So when you're doing your CMA, your comparative market analysis, you need to be showing, hey, these are the sold homes in the area in the past month, in the past couple months. Now, don't be showing anything from 2018, 2017, and it's like, hey, this home sold for $350,000, 2017. It's like, oh, you think I could do that? No, I was just letting you know what could happen. But in your price range that we should be looking at, this is what it could sell for. So be sure you're updated with the sold listings. Active, those are the, please, I want to sell my home. Please. It's a good home, y'all. It's a good home. I believe it. So active listings are active for a reason, because nobody has said like, I don't know if I would want to be buying that house for that price, because the one down the street is $50,000 less. In addition, because I'm able to do my own CMA, or I talk to some realtor friends of mine, they told me that the price is too high. So I'm not too sure if I'm interested in this active listing. So although active listings are good, that means the realtor did a great job during their listing presentation. That means they did a great job of putting together a description of the home. That means they did a fantabulous job putting it on the MLS and sending it out to the necessary distribution channels. But active doesn't mean that it's the golden nugget. So be careful with showing active listings when you're doing your CMA. You can let them know, like, hey, yeah, there's homes out here, but you also want to go down and be detailed as far as why they're still active. So if homes may have sold for $225K, but you see an active listing for $300,000, you may want to let them know, like, hey, the reason why it's $300,000 is because it's been on the market for 128 days. Now, I know you said that you're looking to get your home sold fast. So with that, I think we need to take our time and actually do some real good comparisons. So that's why with active, it's like, hey, that's good. The realtor did their job. Everything is broken down, but at the end of the day, with active listings, they ain't gold until they hit that sold. And then expired goes 2 ways, okay? So I want to focus on the realtor first with the expired listings, and then I'll get into the actual seller. So if you're a brand new realtor, this is where you need to look at, because with an expired listing, that means as of, I'm just throwing out the date out of here, September 17th. September 17th, let's say you see an expired listing because of that date. That means 2 to 3 weeks ago, that person has not decided to talk back to the realtor. That person has not decided to put their house back on the market. But 2 weeks ago, let's have this conversation with them to see why they're not putting the house back on the market. So that's your lead right there. So I know folks are always asking, like, well, where can I get leads at? Expired listings. You know, that's starting off with a conversation. That's starting off with an inquiry. Now, for me, I personally use live broadcast just because I work full time. And as I told you, the many hats that I wear as well. So for me, expired listings is pretty much pulling up their number off of Remind Pro. And if you need help with that, give me a call, 267-702-3756. I could definitely show you that. But with the expired listings, it's like, hey, we need to have this conversation to see why your house is not getting sold for. All right. But back to the sellers. Hey, expired listings is bad. Okay. It's just bad for y'all. If y'all trying to look to sell a home and y'all looking at expired listings as far as comparison, that's just bad. Just because of the fact that it's like, hey, this house didn't get sold and it's been on the market for X amount of days, and it's like, well, how come it didn't get sold? And 9 times out of 10, it usually comes down to price. There may be other things involved. the realtor may have not done a good job as far as marketing the house. There may be pictures inside the house that might be disturbing, Now, I'm not talking about shell properties or those that are through wholesaling deals where it's like, hey, it needs to be a full gutter rehab. But if it's an actual home that looks decent enough that could be sold on the market, hey, you want to make sure those pictures are standing out. And that's another thing too, when you're going through your CMA and showing your prospective seller during the listing presentation, like, hey, let me show you the homes that sold, and let me show you what they look like on the outside as well as on the inside as well. And always find a way to take that step further. If you know that you're in a market where there have been like 3 homes sold, take a video of them that day. Like, hey, I just drove past 123 Main Street. This is the house that got sold recently for $350,000. Now, I'm not saying you knock on the door and talk to them like, hey, can I get a look inside? I got a potential seller about to do a listing presentation, but I just want to see what's inside and how beautiful it looks. Thank you. Oh, thank you. No, don't do that. But you can easily do a drive-by and take a video and send that to them. But think of ways that you are stepping it above the rest. All right. And then the other rebuttal that might come about is that they may say like, well, hey, I'm looking to interview other agents, so I want to thank you so much for your time. Let them know, hey, I encourage you to speak with other agents. I encourage you to speak with other realtors. But I will let you know, based upon what I can offer you, I doubt that any of them can compare to what I can do for you in a timely manner to make sure your house gets sold. Okay? So, and just be honest, and like I said, refer back to your why. There's a reason why you got into real estate. There's a reason why you wanted to be a realtor. There's a reason why you got set up with this listing appointment. So don't take it for granted that as soon as they say, oh, well, you know what, I'm going to check out other realtors. All right, I'm here for a reason, and the reason is such and such and such and such. So be sure to do that. And, above all, make sure you leave your contact information, such as your phone number. And always do a follow-up, especially if they're like, do a follow-up, by the way. Do a follow-up if there's a no. Do a follow-up if there's a yes. And do a follow-up if they're still thinking about it. If there's a yes, obviously you know what your follow-up needs to be. Hey, I need your property disclosure form. Did you get a chance to check out the CMAs, blah, 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 to get an idea as far as the price that you want to get locked in? So that's the yes. The maybe, of course you need to follow up. Follow up within 24 hours. Hey, have you had a chance to re-look again at the pre-listing packet, or was there any additional questions that I may be able to answer for you based upon the questions that I sent you, or maybe even talk with friends and family members or other realtor friends that you know about? And if there's a no, hey, listen, I just want to thank you again for your time yesterday. I know that you said you were looking to move forward with another realtor, but I did want to lend my service in case you did have any other questions that may not get answered through other realtors that I could definitely assist you with. All right. So that is your listing presentation. I pretty much went through details, and it was definitely less than 45 minutes to an hour, but every listing presentation is going to be different, but be prepared to talk. Be prepared to break down as far as why you need to be included as far as being their realtor, and definitely go in there with your why and leave out with your why as well. You got into this field for a reason, and you were created for a reason. If you're still waking up every single day, and if you're even still looking at this video, you got a purpose in life. So be sure to fulfill that purpose and move forward in the right way. So with that, as always, y'all know my tagline. Stay blessed, my fellow millionaires, and I'll be talking to y'all soon.